How do you feel like your first couple days of camp have gone? And if a rep hasn't gone well, how have you been able to quickly bounce back? I know that's something that the Giants have said they felt like you were good at in college as well.
I feel like I'm just getting acclimated. It's only day 3. I only had 2 practices, but I feel like I'm doing good. And as far as the reps goes, I got short-term memory, so next play mentality.
Thanks.
Kim Jones.
Deonte, what's the biggest difference between, a training camp practice with the Giants and really anything you've probably, ever done?
It's probably like how up-tempo it is, the speed of it. That's probably about it, though.
Are you looking forward to the time when you'll really go one-on-ones against some of your teammates and see how you first measure up against them?
Right now I'm just taking it a day at a time. I'm just ready to practice tonight.
Thank you.
Of course.
Art Stapleton.
Hey, Tay, you mentioned the up-tempo of the pace of the drills and everything else, but this is really the first time you've had full speed 11 on 11. What have you sensed from the speed of the receivers that you've gone against so far? I mean, I know there's been a lot of emphasis in the offseason for the guys on the offense that it's speed, it's explosiveness. What's been your taste? I know it's only a small sample, but just curious what your impression's been.
Like you said, it's only been a real small sample, so I really ain't got the hang of it. Like, I really can't really speak on it too much.
Bruce Beck.
Hey, Deonte, what are you working on specifically? Where are you trying to get better?
Just my technique, just my technique on the field, mainly.
What is your attitude in terms of how tough it is to beat you as a receiver?
I'm sorry, say it again?
Is it tough for a receiver to beat you? Do you feel like you always can do the job and always take care of things?
If I can challenge anything, I feel like I can challenge anything. So, I mean, if I can always hold my own.
Do you like the challenge more than anything when it's one-on-one?
Yes, sir. Of course.
Thank you very much.
Charlotte Carroll.
Hey, Deonte, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. What's been early feedback in these first couple of days from Jerome and some of your other coaches? What have those conversations been like?
They just told me keep going, just for me keep it going.
Have they pointed out any certain areas or anything? Have they told you anything that stuck out so far?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Rock.
I'm curious, when you come in, you're a rookie, you get this big, thick playbook, or at least it's digital, so it's not really thick, but there's a lot of pages to it, a lot of schemes. What's your process for learning a playbook? Do you just look for your spot, or do you look for concepts? How do you go about that?
I'm sorry, repeat the question again, please.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Can you repeat the question again, please? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was talking about the playbook. What's your process for learning a new playbook that you've gotten this spring here? In terms of what do you look for first? Is it your role, or do you look for the whole concepts, and how do you go about studying it on a daily basis?
First, I take notes. I take notes on my stuff and learn what I can learn from my position, and then I try to see the bigger picture and see what everybody else knows. And also ask vets what they do, how they look at this, or things like that.
Has anything surprised you about how complex or deep that playbook is?
No, sir, not at all.
Thank you.
Bob Brookover.
Hey, Deon, what do you consider your greatest strength and your biggest weakness as you start your rookie year, and what would you like to most improve on?
Just like being here, just for me, just trying to get my body acclimated and get my mental acclimated to what's going on.
Is there something you feel like you really need to work on as a cornerback to be a top level NFL player?
I'm just focused on getting better every day. I can control what I can control.
Thank you.
We'll take one more. Paul Schwartz. Paul, you're on mute.
Correct. Deonte, hey, I know that this defense wants to create more turnovers this year. They did not have a lot of interceptions. What can a defensive back do in training camp to work on that, to work on getting their hands on the ball?
Ball drills, get on their jugs, and just working on seeing the ball and catching it.
Is it, the receivers catch the ball. You know what I mean? You have to, they can do drills for you, but in the actual 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 team stuff, are you conscious of that, or are you just conscious of the breakup? When there's a play to be made, how conscious of you that I need to make it? I need to just, get my hands on the ball.
If you're in position, you always just try to make the play. That's as best as you can do.
Do you think that's a strength of yours?
I just try to be better every rep.